kind of pushing a particular narrative. He's a community organizer. He organized in Chicago. I'm saying, in the hood and all that. He cares about the people, and he's done these things. And if we get him in there, he's a younger guy for a politician. We get him in there. Look at his wife. You see, his wife is clearly black. She's a dark-skinned, easily identifiably black woman. All right. She comes from the south side of Chicago. She made it up the ranks into the Ivy League institutions. So these are smart black people, or this is a smart black woman from the hood, if you will, to a degree. And, so she's legitimizing him as well. Even though we know his mom is a white woman, we know he was raised primarily by white grandparents. We know his father was black in the sense of being, of course, African or African descent, of course, but he's not American black, so to speak. He's Kenyan directly. Like, he has a direct link and knowledge of where he is from exactly, and his whole lineage, his history, his particular Kenyan culture. So he wasn't like us here who have a huge disconnect from those type of things. So, but he was able to squeeze through, you feel me? So anyway, now, when you look at the legacy of what Obama did, Obama really didn't do any more or less than any other white president that's come before him or since him with Trump. I mean, let's keep it a buck. People talk about, y'all just want to dismiss what Obama has done or this, that, and the other. But Obama's main legacy, which he even supports clearly, is being the first gay president. All right. The Newsweek cover that he did, where he had the halo, they had the halo over, the rainbow halo over his head, the title being, the headline being, the first gay president. All right. So he endorsed this clearly. He signed off on it. He supported that. And he made sure that there were a lot of moves made so that the homosexual community would further be legitimized, would become even more of a protected class, and that their sexual whatever would become more normalized. So he really, really helped to make that happen. And so, looking at his legacy, people do mention things like the fact that, now in Trump's presidency, the black unemployment rate that has decreased, which that's a mixed bag too. But that was kind of set up by some of Obama's policies, which I lend credibility to that in that sense. People talk about the sentencing guidelines, that they were, the crack versus cocaine sentencing guidelines, that he helped to lower those. I'll lend a level of that's factual. It's factual. But like anything political, with anything political, it's always a catch. All right? It's always a catch. It's never completely what it seems. So, what he did is that it brought it down from the sentencing difference being like at 100 to down to being like 18. But why aren't they the same? Why isn't cocaine actually sentenced at a higher rate than than crack? Because you need cocaine to make crack. How does that work? You know what I'm saying? So it's still completely ass backwards. It's still too much. It's still wrong. But people play the game of, well, he helped bring it down. The whole premise that our dear ancestor Malcolm X said, if you stick a knife in my back 6 inches and you pull it out 3, that's not progress. You feel me? So it's that premise. But factually, yes, he did bring it down lower than what it was. So, there's certain things people throw in there. But ultimately, he was not the first black president, which I'm about to address with this Kamala thing, which a lot of y'all know where we stand. But as far as many black people are concerned, yes, he was the first black president. but clearly he was the first gay president. All right, so let's just keep it a buck. Let's call it what it is, and that is the title that he chose to wear. He chose to wear the title of first gay president.
Yep.
You don't hear Obama running around talking about first black president. The first thing he did when he got in office was try to shut down any racial politics whatsoever. That's the first thing he did. He used it to get in there, the idea of hope and change. Y'all heard me talk about this, but that's the easiest thing to sell to black people is hope, because that's what we've been doing all our lives. That's what our ancestors been doing all their lives is hope. You hope that it's going to be a change, but hope is the worst thing to sell, because hope is actually what you have when you have nothing else. Literally, when people have nothing else, they go to hope. I hope I make it. I hope this happens. I hope such and such. You know what I'm saying? You done played the lottery, and you know like what the odds are, but I hope I win the lottery. You know, hope is like when you at your last. So that's what's always sold to black people. Most of us bought into it, including myself. So anywho, now to jump into the Kamala Harris thing. So we have to look at that ultimately, that Obama played game. He flirted around with that whole racial political landscape. And then as soon as he got in as president, he wanted to make it clear, I'm not playing racial politics. You feel me? I'm not doing nothing for no black folk. Don't be coming saying nothing. All right? I'm everybody's president. All right? And even though he is technically, but he wanted to make that clear. That's why he said that. He wanted to make that even more distinct. That I am everybody's president. Meaning, ultimately meaning I'm not black people's president. I'm not here for y'all. That's what he was really saying by saying that. So now when you get to Kamala Harris, now Kamala Harris comes from a background of being East Indian. I believe her mom is. And her father is, as they say, Jamaican. Now, let's make something clear here, right? Being Jamaican is like being American, okay? That does not denote your race. Just like being Mexican does not denote your race. That is a nationality. That is a nation. And as many of us know, in America, there are African black people, aka people of African descent. There are Asian people. There are all kinds of whatever other race. All right. So this premise that, oh, they're Jamaican. Now, for the most part, we know it's a primarily black nation, all right? However, it's still a nation. Jamaican is not a race. Regardless of the fact that they're mostly being black people there, it's still not a racial category. So people will throw in, oh, Jamaican. Now, if you Google, the images of her father himself appears to be, it's questionable. He appears to be biracial. He appears to be, have some very recent racial mixing in his lineage, right? I'm not for total certain because I'm sorry, you said what?
No, I said it does look that way. I'll show the family. Give me 1 second.
Oh, okay. And see, that's why, and this is why I'm trying to hit my people. This is why you have to be careful when you hear people just wanting to push a nationality. So they keep wanting to say Jamaican. Now, the reason they want to keep pushing Jamaican is for two reasons. One reason is one reason is for black people, one reason is for white people. The reason they want to push Jamaican for black people is so that we then instinctively think that she's black, right? Because we associate, of course, Jamaica with black folk, which for the most part, that's what it is, a black nation, but yet it's still a nation and not a race. Now, them pushing Jamaican for white people is to say she's not one of these niggas from here. All right? She's not one of these niggas. One of these descendant of slaves on this particular land. She's not from these niggas. So she's still an exotic, or if you will, black person, considering that many white people look at the pedestal that they put Bob Marley on. You feel me? Look at the pedestal that many white people love Jamaica, going to Jamaica and all of that. Jamaica me crazy. They love it. So it's still to make a distinction from her being an American black. All right. So they're doing this, playing up the Jamaican theme for two different reasons. One for black folk, one for white and everybody else. So when you see her dad, that's questionable. And like I said, her mother is East Indian. So now, here's the thing. And this kind of, was making news over the past few days. Tariq, which let me just say, y'all know how I feel. I'm in agreement with him on a lot of things. Other things I'm not in agreement with him on. But he was spitting some fire. However, he's very hypocritical. We'll get to that as well. But so anyway, here recently, she released a video of her team or whatever, where she was, I guess, sitting in a meeting or whatever. She kind of had her hair pulled back or whatever, and she's sitting up there. Somebody's playing Cardi B, and she's sitting in the chair. I guess she do a little so-called move, so-called supposedly little, which was stiff and offbeat as hell. But anyway, that's supposed to mean something because she supposedly danced to Cardi B. All right, and let me let y'all know this too, which we can get to this if we do, but y'all need to watch out for Cardi B. All right, understand that it's a connection being made because she's criticizing Trump on a lot of things, which some of the stuff she came out and said are things that I said, things that we've said, or whatever about him, but that's also. She's also kind of being used, with them playing her music and the Kamala Harris thing, trying to make a circle, if you will, and tie all of that together. So it's kind of like if Cardi B endorses her, trying to get the younger black vote, younger black people who may not be super informed. They may not be super well informed, and they may actually legitimately listen to this heifer. And who she says you should vote for. You know what I'm saying? So just pay attention to that. But anyway, so that video came out and basically Tariq went in on it and basically chopped it into pieces. And he was just saying that she had her hair back trying to show her ethnic edges, right? And that she was doing that as a ploy to black people. Because, of course, we supposedly, that's all our brain can function on is dancing and hip-hop music, right? This is what we supposedly, that's all we need for a candidate. And, of course, you look back on people like Hillary Clinton, and she's doing the nay-nay and all that, right? And then hot sauce in my bag swag and all of those stupid stuff. And that was supposed to signify the black, and Obama. Let's keep it a buck. How many times did they try to show Obama supposedly dancing? Right? They did it on Ellen. They did it with other things, other little events and stuff. And he's supposedly up there dancing and all this. So they've always used that to show black people, to try to show black people, hey, they're one of you. These people are one of you guys, They like hip hop and all that too, Yeah, you guys are one and the same type of thing, That's what they're supposed to. They're relatable. Mind you, these people are politicians, but they're worrying about them being relatable in terms of them dancing to quote unquote black music. And Cardi B ain't black, but y'all understand what I'm saying. The music genre, she's supposed to be hip hop or whatever. So, yeah. And so basically he put that out there, like that pretty much went viral, what have you. And Tariq's been popping with the whole First Them movement and all of that kind of stuff. So it caught a lot of fire. A lot of people were sharing it and agreeing with him on that. So the Democratic Party was pretty much pissed. Like they were different people in the different Democrats were coming out, speaking out, whatever. And then you had this damn Howard Dean, if y'all remember him, who's the senator for is it West or Vermont? I'm sorry, I think it's Vermont. Who he ran for president back in the day. I think it was during Al Gore. He was going to be going against Al Gore. And I think he was really in the lead to really become the actual candidate. But he did that thing with, yee! I don't know if y'all remember that, but look it up. And, other things or whatever. So he didn't become the actual candidate, but he was had a lot of momentum. And he came out and told Tariq, excuse my French, to shut the fuck up. Now, people like News One, put it out there, and they was like, Howard Dean had an epic clapback. So wait a minute. Y'all mean to tell me y'all gonna support a white man telling this black man to shut the fuck up because he's sitting there warning black people about the same old okie doke played on us by politicians? Because he's warning black people about this nonsense of people dancing and all that. And that's supposed to signify something to us politically. And y'all approve of him telling this white bastard to tell a black man to shut the fuck up. So, y'all, this is the type of stuff that we're dealing with already. So you can see that she's already in the pocket. You feel me? She launched her campaign, whatever, kickoff in Oakland, whatever, right? And I don't think it was many black people there really supporting we are dealing with. Kamala Harris is not a black woman. She does not represent me as a black woman. She does not speak for me as a perfect candidate. And it would help to bring together this whole feminist aspect, right? The whole female thing, the whole idea of playing black women and white women together, this intersectionality bullshit, excuse my French. We're both women and we suffer, that nonsense, that damn lie. And so they're merging all of these concepts together in one. And the driving force is that black people are legitimately calling her a sister. Black people are legitimately saying she's a black woman. And that is a motherfucking lie. Now, let me say this too. I hear this rhetoric of black is a state of mind. Bullshit. Black is a state of mind. Black,
for a second.
You can raise them up. You can raise a biracial up black.
Yes.
Whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Being black before anything else, and I don't want to hear no damn what is black. Black is a color. Black is a crayon color. Black is an absence of color. Black used in the dictionary was defined as pale. I don't want to hear none of that. We know what we're talking about. We know what we're talking about. Black is a political designation, but it's a political designation based upon being of African descent. And that is based upon having two black parents. And that's what we stand on. Period. It's very, very simple. Nobody is throwing biracial people under the bus. Nobody is saying biracial people can't contribute or haven't contributed, Nobody is saying. I'm saying they are biracial, not black. And we need to be clear as such. People will give the argument, oh, well, Clarence Thomas and all that. Listen, Clarence Thomas, Don Lemon, Tammy Sotomizer are all black people.
Right.
They're
exactly.
all black people.
Yes, I'm glad you said that because this whole thing is ridiculous. I can't stand when people start talking, because this is one of the main talking points we get when we start talking about who's black and who's not. One of the main talking points we get is the whole, black is a state of mind and what is black, everything else. Like, why are we playing games like we don't know what black is? Like again, why do we have terms like the word coon, right? We have terms for the word coon because somebody who is black is not representing a black state of mind, right? That's the whole purpose of the word coon, right? Somebody who is black is not acting black, right? Now, if black was just a state of mind, why we have the word coon? Because if somebody wasn't acting black, they just wouldn't be black. It wouldn't be no need to call them a coon. We just call them white or Puerto Rican or Latino or what. Well, I got my bad, but for the people that want to be anal about this, I could just call them Tiano Indian or whatever the case may be. Like we get like Asian and whatever, you know what I'm saying? Oriental, whatever. We call them all these other things, but we call them coons because they are black and they are not acting black. I.e., black is not a mentality. Now, what a lot of people get confused with this is, me and Sister Renee was building on this earlier, but a lot of people get confused on this is they mix up pro-black with actually being black. Because pro-black is a mentality, right? People say you are just born pro-black. No, you're not just born pro-black. I wish it was like that. I feel like you should be pro-black by default. You should be. That's how I was raised. But I've come to realize everybody wasn't raised the way I was raised. So, therefore, pro-black is not a mentality. Pro-black is a mentality. Being black is not a mentality. That's where a lot of people get confused. Like, you could be black and not have a pro-black state of mind, and therefore, that don't mean you're not black. That just means you're a fucking coon. Right? But you also got non-black motherfuckers who could have a pro-black state of mind, be for black people, and actually do more for the community than the fucking coon. Why? Because that motherfucking non-black person actually has a more black state of mind than the black motherfucker who has a more European state of mind. But that non-black motherfucker who's doing shit for the community, he is not black. He's just a non-black motherfucker who's trying to do shit for the community. He might have a pro-black mindset, but he is not black. Black is not a mindset. Y'all have got to get over that fuck shit. For real. Y'all gonna stop playing these mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
Just to keep biracials black. Y'all gotta stop this.
Yeah.
Black is not a mentality. Is there a black mentality? Yes, there is. But that is not what makes you black. You cannot confuse genetics from a mindset. You have the pro-black mindset, and then you have you just being black genetically. When I say somebody isn't black, I'm not saying, no, you're not pro-black. I'm saying you're not black, period. Now, if you want to argue this motherfucker is pro-black, i.e. he's black, that's a dumbass argument. That's a dumbass argument. That's just not true. Because again, you're going to have to count Rachel Dolezal if that's the fucking case. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, Rachel Dolezal goes from having a pro-black mindset to actually being black. Now, you motherfuckers tell me, is Rachel Dolezal black? Because if you think these biracials can just tell you they mentally black, i.e. they black, that means you're telling me Rachel Dolezal can be black. Because that is a transracial argument. I don't care how y'all try to spin it. Exactly. That is a transracial argument. I'll pass the mic back to Renee. I'm sorry.
No, you right on point 100%. And exactly, we got to get out of this stuff, black people. Come on, y'all. We got to do better. Being black is genetic. Let me be clear. Being black simply means you have a black mama and daddy. Okay? That's all that means. Your mama and daddy is black. Now let's clarify that a little bit more. I feel like me and Psycho consistently have to explain this. And it's okay, and I'm okay with explaining it to a degree because I understand that so many of us have been indoctrinated with the one drop rule, and generationally, we've just pretty much accepted that and believed that. So then when you have more people nowadays, or people like us especially, who I feel are people leading the way on this cause, I don't give a damn what nobody say. I know I am a person leading the way on this, and I have been for quite a while. And there are others of us who are as well. So it's like you're in an uphill battle. You feel me? It's like you're fighting to try to get this message out, because everybody is so stuck on what we've already been taught and led to believe. Okay? Understand that the idea of the one drop rule, which is not one drop, I think it's within 8 generations or better. It may have been more than that, but about 8 generations. If you have one black ancestor, then you're supposedly black or whatever. But anywho, that is all based upon a white supremacist ideology, a white supremacist created mentality. Okay, this is what they put forth. Okay, and they did that in order to further protect their own community. So the one drop rule was instituted to protect and benefit them. Will Black people finally understand that? Okay, so it can so that their institutions, their circles, their positions of power, their organizations and groups, and all of those type of things, and their wealth can be restricted or maintained by the whitest of white people. Okay, so that their whole society that they built within whiteness can remain as white as possible, so that white ideals, so that white supremacy can continue to be maintained. Okay, you cannot maintain white supremacy with having a bunch of different races and things coming into whiteness. You can't do it. All right, so this is primarily what they stand on. This is why to this day, even though they swirl, the overwhelming mass, I think it comes down to like 2 to 3% of white men and women swirl. This is why overwhelmingly white people marry and reproduce white, is in order to maintain the system of racism, white supremacy. Okay? So therefore, these biracial babies that were being created via white men raping, sexually assaulting, and abusing Black women, African women, and having, basically unadulterated access to them sexually, those biracial children being created had to be put in the category. They had to still be placed somewhere. And clearly there was a distinctive difference between the Black people, the African people, and the biracial people, but it wanted to be clear that you're still not white. You're still not white. So you might look a little different than these Black folk, but we still gonna lump you over there with them, because you're not white. Your mama wasn't white, so you're not gonna be white. You gotta have 2 white parents. This is what they stand on. Understand that. Them having a white daddy and a Black mama didn't make them white. So why are we in the mindset of someone having one Black parent makes them Black? You have to fight fire with fire. You have to, we can't battle, especially when we're under extermination, and thinking that us making biracial children helps to continue Blackness. It helps to strengthen Blackness. It doesn't. It does not. And again, this is not a bash on biracial people. Please, anybody out there listening to this who tries to take that and run with, well, y'all said, no, we're not. We're talking about the realities of Blackness and the realities of what, mixing races has done and is doing to our community. All right. So the basis, again, of the one drop rule was to benefit and protect whiteness. Period. So now here we are in 2019, many of us still upholding that rule. Why? Why? Why are we still upholding that rule? It doesn't mean that you can't love your cousin, a friend, brother, niece, nephew who's biracial. It doesn't mean that you can't no longer love them and support them and be there for them because they biracial. It's just to say they're biracial. That's it. We're not instituting nobody be harmed, nobody be mistreated, nobody cast aside. It's just to say that blackness that is produced by that interracial encounter is then black, right? Because they had one black parent. So now that biracial child, aka who y'all say are black, can go and make a baby with another non-black person, and then that child is black, right? Because that biracial person, according to y'all, is black. So where's the cutoff? Where does that end? At the end of the day, blackness can only be furthered, it can only be strengthened, it can only be continued through black men and black women coming together. And when you say biracial people are black, you are saying that is not needed. And you have
biracial people are not black
mentality where people supposedly
for some reason some of our people have a hard time with
against, that. Interracial relationships, but they say mixed people are black. Huh? Huh? How does that work? You do understand that you're actually supporting interracial relationships if you consider the product of that black. That just to be a black person, you're essentially still supporting it. Mm-hmm. Even when you claim not to be. So it's like people don't even understand what they're even saying a lot of times because we've pretty much just been trained to just say this stuff. Well, they black, well, they black, well, they black. And let's also be clear. I don't think that Kamala Harris, I don't know necessarily. I think she does try to say she's black, or she may say it here and there. I don't know. From what I understand, she doesn't fully stand on that, and she shouldn't have to. And she shouldn't have to. I'll be damned if somebody's going to tell me I have to not recognize one half of who I am. I'll be damned if somebody tell me you can't recognize either your mama or your daddy. What do you mean? I come from both of them. How am I just going to say I only recognize my mama because she black? I only recognize my daddy because he black. My other parent don't matter in who I am. That's bullshit. And that's actually disrespectful to biracial people. We're the ones actually advocating for their own identity. We're advocating for that. Because how can you deny a person who carried you, birthed you, well, depending on whether it's the mother or father, but breastfed you, if it's the mother, wiped your butt, wiped your nose, cared for you when you were sick, read to you, loved you, supported you, kept food in your stomach, kept the roof over your head, and you supposed to denounce that person totally and just say what the black parent is. How does that work? So, this argument about Kamala, and then you have where the hypocrisy comes in with somebody like Tariq. Now, what Tariq, I feel he really wants to say is that Kamala Harris is not a black woman. I think he really wants to say she's not black. And he's pretty much alluded to that or said that in a roundabout way. The problem is, we all know his wife is biracial. Mm-hmm. So, if Kamala Harris is not a black woman, then neither is your wife. Mm-hmm. And that's how you attempt to represent her. That's so right. See how we can box ourselves in this whole situation? We can box ourselves in with this. So we have to really get real about what's going on. We have to really get real about, what we're seeing happening before our eyes, because we're seeing all of this being turned on its head. And black people, we cannot support Kamala Harris in thinking this is a black woman and that she speaks for black people. That is a lie, and it is a huge mistake to make, black folk. Yep. You gotta wake the fuck up and realize our mistakes from what happened with Obama. We have to shift that. We have to grow. This is a growing process. We've been in this process now for hundreds of years. But I always say this, what did Dr. Amos Wilson tell us? What did Neely Fuller tell us? You use history to show you where you went wrong. So why not use the history of Obama and how we thought that he would make so many changes with black folk when we saw this huge number of police brutality, police killings of unarmed black men, women, and children under Obama. We saw all of that take place. And when Obama came out and said Trayvon could have been his son, there was a huge firestorm behind it. And after that, he most definitely backtracked. He pretty much made a standard that he was not going to get involved in police killings of unarmed black men, women, even though Zimmerman wasn't, police. But he pretty much, okay, well, I'm not dealing with nothing else about that. Again, showing you, I'm everybody's president, aka black people. I ain't here for you. I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, that was just a little bit I just wanted to play for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Very, very much, very important and much needed discussion. You know what I'm saying? So this is far beyond Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was just a little bit. I'm gonna put the link of the article in the description box so everybody can listen to it in its entirety. You know what I mean? They're still going on live right now. So, but yeah, pretty much everything they have said, I pretty much agree with it. You know what I mean? You know, yeah, like they say, we got to stop calling biracials black people. And that includes some of the people that we follow, such as Michi X, no disrespect to her. You know what I'm saying? People such as your China Foxes, no disrespect to her, you know. But yeah, but this is what we need to come in terms with, you know what I mean? Because if we don't come to terms with this, white people gonna keep manipulating us. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have a Kamala doing all this stuff now. You know, so she could get some type of, black cred. Opposed to street cred is more like black cred. You know what I'm saying? You know, and for real, that's what's going down. They try to dip us into supporting her. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that appears to look like a black person, they're gonna throw these candidates in our faces. So that's black people, that's what we need to come in terms with. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're gonna keep doing until we come to the realization that we don't need to be voting for none of these motherfuckers, period. You know what I'm saying? That we need to build our own selves up and stop waiting for Whitey to do shit for us. Fuck Whitey. You know what I mean? So that's all I really want to say. Other than that, y'all be easy, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.